So, hi everyone, welcome to my hashtag oldies, nothing to do with age, and hello my hashtag newbies. Should be self-explanatory. And I'll let you decide whether you want to subscribe or not, because you might have just found me and you don't know who the fuck I am. So, I am Claire, first of all, I'm not Crystal, and everything I do is channeling, and including it's always healing as well. So it might seem like I'm just having a wee chat, I'm just talking, but I'm weaving in all the healing with it. And again, if you want to read all the different healing modalities that I do, you can read a wee bit about me in the description box. You can also find the booking link in the description box as well. So I know there is a lot of writing there, but the booking link is always there for individual sessions and my packages. Or if you're having a bit of trouble there, you can always email soulfamwolfpack@gmail.com or clair-everything@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. I've got a couple of emails there that I can see I need to get back to there, so I will be doing that after this. But so let's just crack on with this. Oh yeah, and so I mean you read that in the description bit too if you're new, but this is a twin flame channel, and I'm a twin flame divine channel. So yeah, everything I do is for twin flames basically. So you're welcome to hang around and nip in, because you're going to say whether I say you're welcome or not if you're feeling drawn to. But yeah, just so that you know that if you just stumbled across us in YouTube land. Right, okay, so it's very hot here today, and so I am, my hair is going a bit frizzball, but we're just dealing with it. So, right, I've been out and about in it, and that's about as much as I can, as much as I can take. So, can I just say, I'm actually, I was in my sister's garden yesterday, and the grass pollen has went for me a bit. It's still irritating my eyes. Although because I've been juicing, apart from that, I've had no hay fever symptoms at all. So just for anyone else that really struggles with that, because like I said, it is debilitating really. When you've got hay fever, it can be absolutely miserable. It can bring your mood down. But if you weren't here for all that chat a couple of weeks ago, I thought that it was hay fever I had, and it was actually felt like just a very heavy cold for a whole week, and then it just went away and it cleared. But I just spoke to somebody else there actually that had the exact same time. So again, it was cleared energy, it was Ascension, but like I say, if you're not well, you're not well. So rest and make sure you get that energy back. And on that note, I was trying to find a wee spread for the new moon in Gemini, because I'm recording this on the Friday lunchtime, and it's on the Sunday. So if you found this real time, that's that. But if you found it, any other time, this won't apply. But the words still will for someone, and more than just one person. So I found a spread that is by Super Lunarist Tarot. Just like to give credit to the person that's done it. I really actually need to make my own one of these. But I just I'm more like winging it. I'm more winging it with when I read the cards. Like I just kind of pull the cards and see what it says rather than going by what am I trying to say, a structure. But sometimes I like a bit of a structure. This one's called Recover and Rebuild. So I felt that was quite appropriate, because I was trying to find another one and I wasn't finding any other ones that were really speaking out to me, and that feels like where I'm at, to be honest. And sometimes, so again, I'm just going to, again, this is part of the channeling, so if you've not got the patience to listen to all this, I'm probably not going to be, the healer for you or the guide for you or whatever it is you want to go, anyway, we know what I'm saying. So, sometimes because I associate the different astrology signs with, well, I don't associate with, but what I'm trying to say is I know where all these energies are for me in my chart. And so at certain particular different new moons and full moons, like I can really feel where that's hitting me. So basically what I'm saying is this is going to have, it could have quite an intense vibe to it, whatever it is I'm going to channel right now. And it's because of where it is. Like I've got a load of Gemini placements, and it's all quite big ones as well. I'm being really dramatic as well, but it's big ones. Like my North Node is there, And like I say, I've got quite a few placements in Gemini, so I'm really feeling quite a metamorphosis, really a death and a rebirth energy is what I've just moved through big time. But I still feel yeah, it just feels like a huge load of change. So that's going to mean something to a lot of people out there as well. Whether you are divine feminine or divine masculine, both I feel. So that's going to, basically what I'm saying is it's going to have a bit of a vibe around that. But yeah, so that's fine. So obviously with me being the channel energy, I'm going to, if you're new to me, I use a lot of my own experience, more than what I see anybody else doing out there. It is quite unique to me, do you know what I mean? And it's what I've always been, fucking about in my hair, anyway, I'll stop doing that. It's what I've always been guided to do. What else was I going to say there? Yeah, so we'll just see what comes out. So I'm just wondering whether I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do this one first. Let's just do this first. So we're going to do this wee spread first. And what cards am I going to use? Let's use my big mixture of 3 decks together. So the Starseed Oracle. What's the other one called? Lightworker? Oh fuck, I don't know. All the Rebecca Campbell ones, the Rose Oracle, and whatever the other one's called. Lightworker, I think it might be called the Lightworker. I really don't know. Right, so let's just use these. So again, this can go for divine feminine or divine masculine, but if you've never watched the way that I channel energies before, I can't ever not do both. So we'll just stick to what I usually do. So, and then I'm going to do a bit of that with some more cards. So we've got, so just, oh yeah, just for a wee bit. So if you're not familiar with the energies of Gemini, but like I say, look to see, first of all, where the Gemini is in your personal chart, but also what is going on within your third house, because that is, Gemini rules the third house. And then if you want to go extra geeky about it as well, it would be handy to know where your Mercury was as well, because Mercury rules Gemini. So, again, and if you really get a bit lost with all of that, I can help you with that in a session, and you can find that on the schedule. And like I say, if it does confuse you, because I know sometimes there's a lot of things on the schedule, sometimes I hide things, and sometimes I put them there. And can I just say, just on a practical matter, right? Click on the general link, right? And then it gives you a drop down menu, and then you click on name, and then it gives you another drop down menu, right? And then yeah, the stuff is there. But again, you can always email and you can ask, and I can direct you. But if you're brand new and you're just feeling really, really drawn to me, that's what being a shaman is all about. Like, you know, it's why the way that a lot of this matrix world is set up doesn't fit with being a shaman, because particularly the shamanic part of me, you're not meant to go looking for clients. Like, the clients are meant to come to you. I mean, in an ideal world, you know, when you've got a bigger audience and you're fully booked, and you know what I mean. But so that's what I said. It is kind of annoying when you are, when you've got a smaller. I don't like calling you audience, so family, but you know, when you have got a smaller audience and it's like that. But like, it is like that, and I'm very like that. And again, yeah, it's just what I'm like, you know. I'm Scorpio rising, Pluto conjunct my Scorpio rising, is very mysterious anyway, and divine feminines are extremely mysterious. Even when they're out there and open like me, we're still really mysterious, and I'm aware of that. But yeah, if I'm seeming so mysterious that you want to ask, and again, I don't mean like ask personal things about your, like, because that's what, again, and again, for those of you that maybe don't know that, like, this ain't my first paper round, you know what I mean? Like, I've had crystal clear visions for 8 years, and yeah, it's been very up and down, all of it. And yeah, I was thrown onto my calling in quite a brutal way, really. The transition was not smooth at all. But I'm very good at helping other people transition to your calling, from other things. And I'm very good at helping people through their dark night of the soul, because mine was one of the darkest I've ever heard of, but again, I'm always open to hearing other people's. But again, it's not about, you can't compare your dark night of soul. Your dark night of soul is just a personal hell of your own. But it makes you who you are. And it's made me who I am, and I'm proud of everything I've went through. See what I mean? See what I mean? I've already gone really, really deep. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very in the feels. I'm very, very in the feels today, and I feel I will be all weekend. So I'm using that to channel a message, but I always do. But I really am using that today. So yeah, I think that's what they wanted to say. They're pulling me up to that card up there that says the future's in your hands. So right now, if I do get this out on the Friday or even the Saturday, like Friday and Saturday is the dark moon, and then the new moon is exact, and the wee small hours, I think it's like something around roughly the time of like 5:30 in the morning UK time on the Sunday. So the dark moon or the balsamic moon, it is typically a time of deep shadow work and rest and healing. It's often what I refer to as the void. So it's not a time to be push in or go, or, you know, so whether you are divine feminine or divine masculine, it is a time to relax and relax and release, really. A bit kind of like, I think it's kind of a little bit like a full moon, because you're meant to relax and release. You've done the work and do that at a full moon. But, you know, the balsamic moon is kind of the same. It's, and there's a lot of intense energies about, so, and again, extreme ascension, I don't know what that is, but ascension symptoms, so that's why I'm using this deck again too. I can't actually remember, I don't know if I've even published, no I did, can't remember what I pulled for. Oh, I think I pulled for today something about highly sensitive and ground or something, or maybe that was yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure it was something about like highly sensitive energy. If you're a highly sensitive person or soul, ground or something like that. Oh, I know how I ended it, because I said the keepers of the light, and you see the keepers of the light, I was associating that, but obviously there's not enough time in the shorts to explain that, but you know, that's what I am. Again, my soul does, I don't like labels, and I do that many things. It is kind of ironic, isn't it? Because it's like I have got loads of labels and, you know, things I could call myself, but it's I'm a keeper of the light, or, you know, a seeder of the light, or whatever you want to call it, and that's why I'm guided to walk along by the beach every day, by the sea, you know, seeding the light, because as I walk, I'm like basically grounding that energy. It's really hard to explain, but I'm transmuting energy. Obviously I'm doing that grounding my own energy, but I'm also taking on a lot of energy, transmuting it for the collective. So I know lots of you will understand that, but just for people that maybe don't understand a lot of that. So again, when I read that card for everyone, you may resonate with that too if you're guided to go to different parts of the world, and, you know, the ley lines and everything like that. So right. It's a little bit like if you've ever heard me tell the story right before the pandemic. I went to Italy to visit my best friend, and we went to Venice, and apart from it being beautiful and everything, remember, I'm not a big traveller. I really just, wherever she is in the world, I'm going to find her. Do you know what I mean? Thank God she's not far away now, but she's still too far away, but she's not that far away from me. And I'm so grateful that I've got to visit all these different amazing places that she's lived. But basically, like, when I was there, I was like, I've just got this really eerie feeling, like there's just darkness. And I was like, I wonder if there's going to be like a really catastrophic flood here or something. Because you know how that can happen. There's amazing things that happen too. Remember the water turned, like, when there wasn't as many people or something, the water turned like a greeny blue or something, and did a dolphin not, am I making that? I'm not making it up, but did a dolphin not swim? I'm sure it did. I'm sure there was dolphins. You can Google it. But anyway, you know, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that there was going to be a flood. It was the pandemic. The pandemic. That's what I was feeling. I was feeling a darkness coming. And I've also since realised, okay, I won't go to you can tell that like, you know, I get really deep in this energy, but it's this is my North Node just telling the truth, by the way. So again, if people don't want to hear this kind of stuff, you can just click off, because it is the truth. But North Node in Gemini isn't, you know, it's not, if you ever notice anyone with that, it's not an easy one to have, and we are here to be a messenger of the truth. It's like, you know, yeah, basically. A God's messenger of the truth, I might add. But yeah, there's a lot of dark stuff that goes on around there, and I was feeling it while I was walking about, and I was so drawn to the Archangel Michael they've got Archangel Michael statues everywhere, and I was like, why is there Archangel? Why is it just Archangel Michael? Where's all the other angels? And then my best pal was explaining, you know, a wee bit about why that was, because there was all the things with Archangel Michael, particularly with his foot on the enemy, you know, the devil, and the sword, and that really, oh my god, I've got the Archangel Michael card sitting here. It's quite interesting because these are like a newer deck that I got, and they're sitting right here, so I'm not gathering they want us to use these. And again, for those of you who don't know that, like I've very strongly linked to Archangel Michael energy, because I always associate with electric blue, and as you notice, I like a lot of electric blue stuff, with my frequency being of the Blu-ray kind. So anyway, this is going in a bit bigger of a chat. Anyway, I thought I'd make this really, really long actually. So right, what do we need to know then about the Archangel Michael energy? With me telling that story that I've told many, many times, but again, new people won't have heard it. Basically, the point is, you know, I'm a clairvoyant, I'm a seer. I saw it coming. I didn't know exactly what. So there's going to be a theme here of, so you could apply this to your life. You can see something coming, or you can feel it coming. Again, I've got all the clairs, so whatever clair you've got, or a mixture of them, you know, whether you've got a couple of them, or because basically, if you've only ever been like really clairaudient or really, that's actually one of the more rare ones that people tend to want to have, which is, and again, my soul being unique, that's actually, I can never decide what's my strong, like people say, I don't know what's the strongest one. They're all very, like they are literally all very strong with me. And you can see that when I'm doing the channeling. But my clairaudience, I've had that said by other mediums and healers that I'm the most clairaudient person they've ever met. And that's with people that I've met other really famous mediums and healers and stuff. So that is why I'm good at, I'm going to pat myself on the back. That's why I am a very good mentor of people with stuff like that. But basically what I'm trying to say is, whatever clairs you've got, whether you feel like you don't tune into any of them or something, because we've all got psychic capabilities, you've all got clairs, and they're all coming online. And that is basically, I know for the rest of the shorts that I've got that I filmed up until Monday, that I filmed like 10 days ago or something like that, it was like that. It was all messages like your gifts are coming online. I think I've already published that one, and the one in a couple of days is like something about a big intense one about New Earth, and anyway, bloody blah. It's a lot of intense energies, huge spiritual awakenings, heightened spiritual awakening, or people waking up for the very first time. What do we need to know? And angels of healing are with you, yeah, through this time. And look, there's going to be a lot of Archangel Michael's swords on these cards, because, mind you, has he got? Yeah, there is. There's not a sword in all of them, actually. There is going to be in quite a few of them. It's on the back and that too. But this has got angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. So again, that is a mixture of the Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing, coming in, and Archangel Michael, the angel of strength and protection. So I do that again tells me that this recover and rebuild spread, when I get around to it, is the right one to be doing for people right now. And what's on the bottom, and be the real you. You're great, and the numbers are number 2 and number 6. So again, these numbers might be significant in some kind of way, either the 2nd of June or the 6th of February, or it could be the number 8 with the as well. Right. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Right, I love that. I won't overdo it. These are the main messages I wanted to come out there. And regain your focus, 27th. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So there we go. I did kind of feel that some of the messages I was going to channel today were going to echo the shorts. And that is, I think it's either the one that I done for today or yesterday. It was about grounding your energy with intense energies coming in. And again, I feel like it's because whether or not you are in physical union or close to one, and like I say, nobody ever really knows when you are or not. You might feel like you are, and then you're not. And I just happen to feel like, from helping people with this for the past 8 years, it's like it's going to be when you least expect it. Do you know what I mean? So you just have to keep letting go and surrender and all that. But what I do know is, a lot of twins, always. There's always physical twin flame unions in Gemini season because it is the sign of the twins. And this is a new moon in Gemini. Right now we've got the moon, the sun, Mercury, and I was trying to remember the other one by memory. Juno, actually. I mean, that's one of the ones that isn't always commonly spoken about, but Juno is Gemini as well. And remember, Juno is a lot to do with your love life and everything. And that was fun, actually. I do want to do that another time. Now I'm getting dragged down on the rate, but I want to do some kind of hot seat thing at some point where, but I think I would need to in advance have you email me. Oh, I don't know. That could be quite time consuming. Anyway, I'll work that out near time. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I'd done that once on a live stream where I was like, when I knew what people's Junos were, I just kind of channeled for a wee bit about where that meant for where it was on your chart. And people loved it. I think that was I'd done it in public once, but it was more I'm thinking of in a private group when I was running it was either my membership or a course. And the women that done that really loved it. The girls, the women, you know. Anyway, right, so yeah, so basically whether or not you're a twin that's close to union, it doesn't really matter. It's the fact that some twins are, and so the spiritual warfare like gets really, really intense. Or to kind of translate, because I know these words are kind of confusing for a lot of people, the psychic attacks, the gossip, the sabotage, the distractions, all of that, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is that happens, if it's not happened to you, it is happening to some twins out there. All twins on some level, but the closer you are to a breakthrough, either for you personally or, like I say, if it's close to you and your twin actually even talking, the distractions and the shit that comes your way to stop that from even happening will be off the charts. So, right, okay, so what we've got for what guidance will assist me in my process of recovery. So this is just for whoever's going to resonate with whatever comes out. It was so funny, right, when I got off the bus there, because it was like just because it's so hot, but when I take my glasses off, it literally makes like my makeup go all over my face, like my eyeliner, and it was just kind of, it was all about my face, and I was like, fucking hell, man, do you know what I mean? That's why you always just need to fucking turn the camera on your phone to check, but whatever. I think I actually had my glasses on, so I think it would have been under my glasses, but when I took them off, I thought, shit. Right. So see, with me saying that, I know that's kind of funny, and it's like, but it's like I feel there might be something about you worrying about. So I feel this is like for, divine masculine energies, regardless of gender. It could be divine feminine, but it's just basically worrying too much about what people think about you. Yeah, if you think about it. Because people are, like I always say, people are always too bothered about them. Someone actually said that to me today too. People are always far too bothered about themselves to be focusing in, like homed in on what you look like or what you're doing. But I don't know. Some folk are fucking nosy too. And actually, the shadow of Gemini is gossip. So look out for that too. Look out for you doing it as well, because I always notice that too. Like, again, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's Gemini is chatting, right? And it's fun, and it's chatting, it's communication, it's talking, and it's listening. It's good to talk. It's also good to listen. But yeah, just look out for it. You'll see it. It's like, again, like I said, I'm more of a hermit these days, but I did always used to notice it. It's like, don't get too swallowed up by that energy. Right, okay, so what guidance will assist me in my process of recovery for whoever this is going to resonate with? Right, okay, so I tell you, that's how we'll do it. We'll do it for divine feminines. And when I say divine feminines, it does, like, you could, and I'm only explaining this for new people, I know the others know that if you're a divine masculine, regardless of your gender, and you resonate with being divine masculine, you've also got a divine feminine side, which is your receptive side, your your feminine, receptive, rest, that whole kind of like, attract, I attract, I don't chase, which isn't always related to like your twin flame and romantic stuff and that can be like what I was saying about the clients, like just be who you are and put your frequency out, and the people that are meant to work with you will find you. That you have got periods of where you have to be patient as well. Do you know what I mean? So, but again, and that's one of these bits where I'm like, look, that is just what, that's like my kind of soul thing and all that. But I do think there's an element of truth in that for everyone. Right? Okay, blah blah blah. Can we hurry this up, guides and God and spirit with this message, because I don't want this video to be really long. An hour is fine realistically, but and then same. If you're divine feminine, regardless of your gender, you've got a masculine side as well. And can I just say, right, I've seen quite a few synchronicities today. So one of the things that I saw that was quite moving was it was a clip of Mark from The Only Way is Essex, you know, Towie, and it was really short, and I'll put it below. So again, lots of you won't know who that is, or you won't know, you wouldn't have seen that programme that if you're in different parts of the world, but he was just on a reality show. It's one that I do channel about now and again, because I always watch the old one. It's something that I like to do. It relaxes me. But and if you haven't heard me saying that, right, the reason why it relaxes me is that when you watch old reruns of the when you watch old reruns of a programme or a film that you've seen before, it basically calms your nervous system down, because you already know what's like, say it's like, I don't know, like Friends or something that you've seen loads and loads of times. It calms your nervous system down because there's no unknown. Like, you actually know what's about to happen because you've seen it that many times, so it does make sense to me. And again, it was on a wee shorts thing that I caught once, somebody saying that, and it's always just stuck. That was years ago actually. So it wouldn't have been a shorts, I don't know if shorts was out, but it was some kind of short video, and it was just some random dude saying it. But I think he was a recovering alcoholic or something. But it really stuck with me, and yeah, so it must have been something that he used in his recovery to. But I thought, fucking hell, I was like, it was really funny. I was like, that's why I do that. Because me and my pal at the time would always like kind of laugh at it. I was like, because she would do it with me, and I was like, why do I do that? Like, do you mean? And it's kind of like the same as like why I love tea and coffee. I'm not addicted to it because I'm having a break from it just now. I'm really missing it, and I do that. I do that in the summer quite a lot, just for discipline. It teaches me discipline, but it's the comfort. I worked out. I just like having a hot drink. Like, it comforts me. It calms me down. So again, you might like to. You might be. I might be giving you the, oh my god, fuck, that's why I do it. Or you might have other things that you're like, that's why I do that. But that's particularly, that should be helpful for those of you that have got ADHD, or whether you've got an attentive ADHD like me. Now, like I said, I've not been getting like a cough or a sore throat or anything, like, so I feel like I'm picking up on people that are working on that, expressing your authentic self, because that is very Gemini. Like, that is a very Gemini card to come out. So, and the angels are with you, healing you and protecting you as you speak your truth. Right, so there was a wee clip, yeah, it was just basically, it was like 3 or 4 minutes or whatever, and maybe it was longer than that, but it was just basically him, his dad and his brother, and he was just basically saying, like, I'm sorry I haven't been myself the last few years, and I hope I haven't let you down. And it was really actually quite moving. It almost made me cry. Like, it was quite moving. And I thought that's really a lot of where the collective are at, you know what I mean? And I've seen that with the men around me, that it's, I've just seen, and I've seen it in the wider world too, just like more of a heart opening, like just coming more into their feelings. Yeah, is really all I can say about that. So it's going on, basically. It's going on for the masculines in the world. But then I saw something else that, and then just where I feel, right, so what I feel, so I'm going to channel this before I pull the card. So a message I do feel, just, again, and this is for those of you that, again, that, oh, that's funny, I was nearly fucking sending that new moon spread to folk. That'd be hilarious if I sent it to somebody random. Right, we'll put this down. That's dangerous to be fucking holding. Oh no, I need it for the spread though, don't I? That's funny. Did I send my dad a new music? I mean, he would be like, "What the fuck?" That would be fine. I'd rather that than anybody else, something random. But that's really distracting me. But you see, distractions, that's what's made me laugh. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, so a wee bit of a thing, like I said, I don't need the cards. I just channel through my clairs, but I love cards, and it just backs me up. Really, is how I like to say it. But what I'm feeling is, I feel divine feminine energies. Like I feel you may have things coming up that, whether it be finding ways to admit stuff to yourself, or being guided to other people to hold space for you, like different healers or counselors, or wherever you're guided to do anything like that, or it could just be a healing conversation with a friend, like whatever it is. I feel you may be getting pushed to, just be more honest with yourself about something. Like I said, that usually takes a bit of toing and froing with someone else, but not for everyone. Some people can journal and get insight, but again, like I say, you got to keep it in balance. Because like I said, I'm somebody that can get a lot of stuff just by sitting in communion and getting the information myself, but I do like slow down to recognize, like, no, I need support with this too. So like, I'm just saying that for other people that are like me too, I understand that, but make sure you're not doing it all by yourself, and make sure you're open to receive that help, because there's basically something about, if you, so this is just for the divine feminines, but it could resonate with divine, but I'll see where it's like, if you don't stop to admit the truth about whatever it is you're being guided to, and it could just be something, I was about to say it's little bit, that's big. So say there's something you've been struggling with, and or you're just struggling just now for whatever reason, and but you've learned from conditioning around you, society, like to always be strong, which is a lot of us. I feel there's quite a push to just to be able to have that space to be honest with yourself, and like say, or share it with a trusted source. And again, it's quite interesting because where the Gemini placements are in my chart, it is my priest-like qualities, my counselor-like qualities, my shaman-like qualities. It's why people get led to me to be that person, to share that deeper shadow work with, or the deeper feelings. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about, it's like, I feel the divine feminines are being guided to do that where they need to, because you and your twin mirror. So if you're being guided to do that right now, or you might have already moved through that, but they were just talking to me about it, it is important that you do take the time to stop and really tune in and have that moment of you receiving what it is you need, whether it is just a listening ear for something that you've been struggling with, or it might be something a wee bit deeper than that. It might be something that you need a listening ear and then you need support with something. But whatever it is, it's important that you do that, because you see, if you never stop to do that, guess who else won't ever stop to do that? Do you know what I'm saying? And it was just interesting with the synchronicities that they showed me, that with that guy opening up, because again, a wee bit of a backstory, 33 minutes, Divine Masculine. A wee bit of a backstory is like, that guy's like obviously I've been watching Toy for like, I mean, it's fucking 12 years now, so it's like, it's over, it's over 10 years. Sorry, I'm just laughing because it is quite funny, because when that came out, it was actually strangely in line with my twin flame separation, actually, I would say. When it started to go really weird, basically, is how I describe it. So yeah, but anyway, on that program, he's he's a really good looking guy, and just could get any girl he wanted, really, on that program. That's how they were sort of putting, basically, the Jack the Lad kind of, and it's just interesting seeing that, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just funny because it's like, that's what I mean about, he's not a twin flame, but it's like, I can see that throughout the world. It's like, that's a guy that is basically, let's be blunt, like, shagged about. And then he's found like one of the hottest birds on the planet. And again, I don't bat for that team, but again, it's Michelle Keegan here. She was started off on a soap, but she's beautiful. They're both they're just a really hot couple. But yeah, they got married, and again, I don't follow their life or anything, so I don't know. I've never, and I don't read any of these magazines or anything that I used to. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know if they're happy or not. But the point is hopefully. But what I mean is, it's like that's somebody that is basically, until he's hopeful. I mean, because they're mad, they're married. So until he's kind of, but actually, I suppose that's the point. You see, like, I don't want to analyze their relationship, but I wonder how deep that connection actually is, because they are both extremely good looking people. But I wonder if they did connect on that deeper level as well again. And that's where it's like, who cares really? Do you know what I mean? But it's just a good example of, it's just somebody that that suited him to be like that at that point, and now everything's catching up with him. But it wasn't really so much that, because it wasn't anything about love. It was the fact he was saying that he was addicted to, he was basically saying he was a workaholic. And that interests me because I work, so many of my sessions are about that. Again, the majority it's women that are in that, but I have helped men like that too, that where it's just like they just can't stop. And it's like, and that's how I help balance them out. Because again, me having an attentive ADHD, and just the way my energy levels, are really high and then they dip, it's kind of like, I'm very good at balancing somebody out with that. So, and that's, I've helped loads of my counselling clients in particular with that, or soul retrievals about balancing your masculine and feminine. But yeah, it was just quite moving, because it was basically him admitting to himself, I'm aware that I haven't been around. I think he was saying, I'm aware that I haven't been around to connect with the family. And then they go all say that kind of, what's it they say, like, families everything, or family, they're all like, family. And again, it's like, yes, absolutely, but that's not the case for everyone. I've worked, sadly, the majority of people I've worked with, yeah, I've worked with some people where their family really are not supportive in the slightest, and really actually very, I was going to say nasty, but evil. Like, seriously, some of the cases I've worked with. But again, I've also worked with people that they've got, really supportive families. So yeah, you can take which bits, but the whole sort of premise is that, that, I mean, it sounds to me basically like he's just been going through a spiritual awakening. But I just felt they were using that example to tell me that it's just basically, if you're going through that, you're right where you're meant to be. And it's kind of like, so don't be, I suppose the message is like, don't be sort of like hiding away, not getting the support that you need if you need it. Because if you do that, your twin will mirror that. But again, a lot of you might have moved through that. But yeah, whatever that means to you, right? Okay, so, and it's now 37 minutes, 38 minutes. So 37 minutes, and 37 is associated with your North Node. So follow your North Node. And this is me following my North Node, because it's a new moon in Gemini, and my North Node is in Gemini. And the nodes move next month, so that's really important, you see, because the nodes move to Aries and Libra. So that'll be a huge shift for the collective too. So, right, and then the heat will be taken off of the people with the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio. So you'll be glad to hear that. Right, okay, so all very random, but I did know with these being drawn, these synchronicities, it was going to be important. What guidance? So again, I suppose the theme as well is, I feel that could get quite emotional, because he kind of did start crying, I suppose. There's just I feel there's going to be some extremely emotional conversations coming up for whoever resonates with these messages. So it might not necessarily be with you and your twin, although I do feel that will be the case for some people. That again, that it just must be divinely timed. And for others, it could be you opening up to somebody else for support. So really, really take that on board. Right, okay, so what guidance will assist me in my process of recovery for divine feminines that are going to resonate with this regardless of gender? Jump in. Andromedan energy. And if you haven't heard me say that before, that is one of the many energies that I do channel with. Adventure, say yes to change. So yeah, there's something about divine feminine again, and I do feel that's picking up on what I just channeled. It's about, I feel if you're a divine feminine energy, that you're extremely strong, you're supporting other people around you, or you might be a bit like myself and you're supporting, you know, a lot of different people putting out messages, or you know, however you do it in your different way. Because again, it doesn't always need to be that you're doing it in a similar way to me. It could be that you say you help in your community down at a local community centre or something, doing something like, you know, that it's whatever way in which you do it, you know, divine, if you're on the twin flame journey, it's, there will be people that are looking to you for support that are a bit further behind than where you've been. And I do feel this change is about you allowing yourself to receive the support that you need. Like basically, it's like you don't need to always be so strong. Like, so there's obviously a push for you to jump in and really fall into your feminine energy. I'd imagine so that your masculine can step into their masculine energy. Which again, it could be really quite difficult for you to do that if you are very strong. And but again, remember, strength is admitting your vulnerabilities in a safe space as well. And there's a strength in crying, absolutely, for any gender. Everybody needs to let that out. It's very therapeutic. Whenever I have a good old cry, I mean, I've got no issues at all crying myself. That's how I heal myself. Is I like to be myself, and I heal myself, and I cry, and then directly after it, I'll talk to somebody that I trust, and that's my process, you know. And that is what I know myself inside out. I mean, that always gets commented to me by other counsellors or healers, is that, you know, I'm just forever, self-awareness is my thing, so I'm very self-aware in that way, which is why I can help others with that. But the thing with being so strong is it's sometimes I can miss that, because I'm an Aries at the highest degree and a Scorpio rising. It's like I could go through quite a difficult, painful time and just keep pushing through it because I am so strong, and it could take quite a while for me to be like, actually, do you know what, that was really fucking rough actually, and now I need a bit of a rest. But that could be like ages later that I come to that conclusion. So do you know what I'm saying? There's something around that. And again, for me, it's like I'm kind of foreseeing, like, you know, it's a lot of it's, but when we jump into Cancer season, you know, the solstice is on the 21st there. Cancer season is the sign of depression, it's sadness, it's trauma, it's ancestral trauma, family trauma. It's the lower part of the chart, you know, it's feelings as well. So when I'm saying about heart awakenings, it's you're going to be pushed into your feels. The world's going to be pushed into their feels. And also, you know, it's a time of people, you know, people like to kind of, oh, it's weird, isn't it? Because Cancer season is right in the middle of summer, but it is a time when people do want to rest and heal a bit more. So I suppose they're just, you know, getting me to say this for a reason. It's like, you know, Cancer season is a bit of the month, sort of more of a break or a rest before we bounce and leap into fiery Leo and, you know, all that fun, playful energy. So yeah, whenever that makes sense to you. So they got me to shuffle the tarot, and I'm wondering if it's like, you know, because I was seeing clairvoyantly, like, oh, that's another tech, but I'm like, well, how would it be here if it's over there? But they were showing me, like, you know, that kind of 9 of Wands, like, you know, the wounded warrior, like, just kind of battling on, like, you've really went through the wars. And then, you know, the 10 of Wands is where you just you just admit to yourself, like, this has all just got a bit too much and I need a breather. So for some people that could just be you need a breather for a weekend, like what I done when I burnt out last weekend. And then miraculous, it was like after a rest, and like, yeah, I was praying for the miracles and the healing and stuff as well, but it was like, yeah, and then I got my energy back on Sunday, and I've been, you know, I was going to say touch wood, I don't even fucking believe in that, but I've been feeling great ever since. But I'm just aware of I move with the collective, so anyway, right, what do we want to see that comes up here? Oh wow, Jesus Christ, sorry if I'm offending anyone by saying that, but whoa, holy fuck, right, okay, so Divine feminines, or like I say, divine masculines feelings, because we're about to do divine masculine too. That's heartbreak, and I mean that card really depicts that. Do you know what I mean? There's some kind of painful emotions arising for divine feminines at this time, or something that's surfaced, some kind of trauma that has surfaced that is painful. And it could come out of the blue. So again, if you're watching this, it might not have happened to you yet, or it might be happening around this new moon, or it could even happen on the full moon. You know, it could happen whenever, but it's just a warning for someone. It's like, you know, it's some kind of heartbreak is, and again, remember twins mirror, so yeah, just remember that. And then we've got the devil here as well, so it could be around some kind of toxic cycle. So again, I'm feeling like it might be something around, like, if you're used to hiding when you're struggling, it's about maybe, like, I feel like some kind of heartbreak or awareness coming up about, like, admitting to yourself that you need a bit of support with something. And again, for some, it could be that it's like you're allowing, yeah, it's about you're allowing others to support you with something, but I feel specifically for some, it could be like you're allowing your masculine to support you. Okay, right. And then, yeah, and then we've got the King of Cups behind that, and the King of Cups is notorious for having just all these emotions. So forget the gender, because it's like some divine masculines could be, so sorry, some divine feminines could be a man that struggles with that, because they could have all these deep, intense feelings, but then feel like they need to mask it because they're a man kind of thing, you know. So that's one thing for one people. And also a message just came in, so this could be about messages. Yeah, like Gemini is about messages, so whether it's like that could even be like a message coming in or down from the divine, but it could be just communication. Gemini is about communication, but remember the King of Cups finds it hard to communicate their feelings. So it's like, it's an interesting message, but I do get it. It's what they were saying to me about the cards. It's like I feel some divine feminines right now are in a place of being pushed back in a corner about something's arising, and it'll be different things for different people, but it's like, so that you, like, I know what it is for me, but I'm not going to go into all my shit, but it's kind of like I'm saying enough of it so you get that it's like wherever it is that you just plod on, get on with things, and it's like you're being slowed down, or you will be in Cancer season, for you to just be like, actually, do you know what, I do need a bit of support with this. Like, I support everyone else all the time, I need a bit of support with this. And I mean, I'm always channeling about this stuff, but this feels really deep today. And it's just about remembering, like, to do that for yourself, but it's also the fact that if you never stop to allow yourself to receive divine feminines, your divine masculine energy will be like me being shown that guy, like, just workaholic or caught up in, like, he's caught. It's quite funny actually, because I just got drawn the word famous, so it might be okay, you never know who's tuning in, but it's, he's, you know, he's obviously in the public eye, and like I said, he is extremely good looking as well, so he'll get all these deals thrown at him, and he's obviously just taken on a shitload, but he's taken on too much, so who knows, maybe his marriage has suffered from that too. I don't know, like, I don't know about all of that, I'll probably Google it after it, but do you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's burnt out. So there's something about burnout again. So I really do feel me going through that the past couple of weeks. And like I say, now I feel I've got my strength back, but I'm still gonna keep an eye on that. As I do feel, unfortunately, some people tuning in this, you might yet to go through that. And again, sometimes you need to learn the hard way. Like, I learned the hard way there, you know, and it was but it doesn't always need to be so drastic, like you're in your bed for weeks. Because for me, it was like a long weekend, and then I had my energy back. But so it'll be different for different people. Right, okay, so what have we got for divine masculine? What guidance will assist divine masculine in their process of recovery? So just to clarify, there's something about divine feminines, you've got to jump in where it should feel a bit uncomfortable. Like, for instance, I know where this is in my chart. I should be being a bit more uncomfortably honest right now. And I wouldn't necessarily say there's anything I've said right now that has been I mean, again, I'm always doing that, but I mean, the video isn't finished yet, so we'll see. Right. Please God, don't make me say anything I don't want to say. Right, okay, so they never do though. I trust that much. So jump in, divine feminine, because when you jump in and you get uncomfortable where you need to solo your divine masculine. Again, it's not always like, oh, as soon as you do it, they'll do it. Like, far from it. But if you never do it, they'll never do it. Do you know what I mean? Right, so divine masculine. What guidance will assist the divine masculine in the process of recovery? And 2 have fallen on the floor, and they are Temple of the Rose, Ancient Power, Expression, Activation, Scarlet Codes. Hey, wait a minute, this is what I thought was going to happen. This is like the shorts. The ever unfolding rose cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. So instantly, divine masculines, expression is the word that's really jumping out to me here. There is an activation going on around this new moon, around you speaking your truth. Like I said, it's speaking your truth to wherever you're guided, speaking your truth. Could be speaking your truth to your friends, your family, your community, or speaking your truth to your twin, or, there's all different orders for different people, or like I said, to being honest with yourself. But yeah, there's an activation going on around now and around the solstice as well, because there always is. So yeah, Temple of the Rose, the Scarlet Codes, different kind of codes coming in about that. And that's really interesting because, yeah, it is, yeah, there's a significance about the rose energy here, because we've got Temple of the Rose and the ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. Yeah, okay, very interesting. So again, some of you will really resonate with that too. Right. So divine masculines basically, oh look, and I've just now picked up you're not alone. And look what I said about speaking your truth to the community. We've got isolation, physical connection, community. Divine masculines feeling alone with the people around them basically. And yeah. And it's like it's happening for you, not to you. Again, and it feels shit. That's basically what it is to translate. It's like it feels shit, but it's happening for you to break into who you really are. Fuck, see, I told you it was going to be really deep. Right, okay. Right, it's just quite interesting. I'm just laughing at the fact that I'm being guided to say it. So I'm being guided to do with everything to do with roses around here. I'm being guided my rose over there, my rose candle over there. All I'm going to say is, like, so that I do know that, and again, you can, what I'm saying is, different people are guided to different things with where they're at their levels of consciousness. So, yeah, I'll just say that. Again, because, oh my god, this is crazy. They're pulling me the rose candle holder, the rose water, and the rose. I've got like a plastic rose over there. So yeah, so that said roses, whatever it said, rose. And I do know that around this solstice, there's a huge activation and portal opening around the solstice, and it was very connected in Scotland actually. And again, you can go and see you if you're guided to go and see what that's all about yourself. You can, but I'll just say it like that. And again, the reason why I don't actually sort of name different things is because I feel a lot of these sort of places, a lot of kind of different places online are quite sacred, and there's different sorts of people that tune in. And anyway, that's my reasons. But anyway, I'm talking a bit cryptic here, but some of y'all know what I mean. Right, so, but it's just interesting. I'm just noticing the rose. There's a lot about the rose here, and I associate the rose with Mary Magdalene. So there's a lot. This is big twin flame stuff, basically. Right, okay, so, very interesting. Right. So 2 is, what am I leaving behind that no longer serves me? Right, so what is divine feminine leaving behind that no longer serves them, whatever gender they are? The seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Right, I feel that is about divine feminines are leaving behind wherever you've had a tendency to have awareness about, oh, I need to look at this, but then sort of go back to sleep on it. So again, that could be a multitude of different things for different people watching this. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Whenever you spot that this isn't good for me, or this isn't healthy, or these people aren't good for me, or this person isn't good for me, or I don't really like that, and then it's like that's what you're leaving behind. Like you're bringing that unconsciousness to light. And again, remember, if you weren't aware of that, I work with the subconscious and everything that I do when I hold space for that, with my Pluto and Scorpio being in the 12th house. I'm always bringing up what is unconscious. It's quite intense, anyone that it's very intense. Anyone that has ever had a session with me, you'll know what I mean. It can be very intense, that comes up. But again, that is, and I could do that with hypnotherapy or shamanic healing or however it arises. Yeah, so that's what Divine Feminines are leaving behind. And on the bottom, I thought it was going to be something about taking a break. We've got ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future, break the chain. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I do feel this Cancer season for Divine Feminines, it is going to be about a lot of that ancestral healing. Again, I know it never ends, or you might need to do less of it than some, but it never ends really. But even if it's just the healing and rewriting the future bit, you're now focused on about, right, I've done a lot of work in this area, and now I'm focused on rewriting the future, like not repeating certain unhelpful patterns that I've recognised. And just about being compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. And it's about basically, and see all the roses again, it's about, having that grace with yourself, about wherever you need it. Having that grace of yourself, and having that grace with your twin as well, obviously it would be as well, right? And wherever you're guided to, but I really do feel that. So that's what you're leaving behind, like basically not having that for yourself as much as what you have for others. Like not being so hard on yourself. It's something around that. Right, so what is Divine Masculines leaving behind? But you see how when I'm saying that's for Divine Feminine, that could also just still equally make sense to Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine is leaving behind the old, the initiation, rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. Yes, some Divine Masculines are going into a sacred union. But until they go into a physical sacred union, they have to reach that sacred union within themselves, which, like I said, it isn't, like I've said before, it's not about being a perfect person before you come into a physical union. It's about you've come into union with yourself, as in you've slowed down, like what I've seen that clip of that Mark guy doing, like you've slowed down to talk about your feelings with at least someone that you trust to connect what was suppressed. So where there's deeper feelings that have been pushed down, you've stopped long enough, either just by yourself or by, a mixture by yourself and getting support from other people. Which again, as I'm saying that, I'm seeing lots of different people I've worked with over the years, because this is what I help people do, to marry. Although it's marry as well, that's why I say whenever I see marriage, literal marriage cards, it's about the union. To marry your masculine and feminine within you. Like you're no longer detached. Because that's what, like you said, I've explained this all the time, but that's what disassociation as well is when the soul fragments are detached. Like, when people's deeper feelings aren't connected to, when you're just not connected to your deeper feelings, you've pushed them down, which we can all do in some sort of way, but some people do it way more than others. And it's about, I feel, when Divine Masculine's energy have done that work there to marry that's when you're going somewhere sacred. So it'll be different things for some people. Where you're going that's sacred is you're being guided to go inwards during this Cancer season, to take that time to really connect, with yourself and come into union with yourself. For some people that have done enough of that, it is a sacred union with a twin. And we've got on the bottom, birth and creation's tapestry of life expression. So there's just so much about expression here. So again, it is about speaking your truth. Like I say, wherever it is you're guided to speak your truth, wherever you're at in the timeline. Expression. And deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So there's a lot here about portals and activations and expression, and having that deep love for yourself. That was also kind of screaming quite Egyptian stuff at me there too. So past life memories coming up as well, because the Cancer energy that we move into will surface a lot of past life memories. So I feel that'll really wake a lot of twins up where they were not awake, but where they were asleep, which is funny because Cancer energy is sleep as well. But when I burp or hiccup, by the way, I'm transmuting the energy if you're new. But that's the first time I've really kind of done it. But when I itch my nose, that's when the loved ones of spirit are coming in, the ancestors, and that is Cancer energy as well. I pointed to that area of the room because that's my ancestor corner. But yeah, these past life memories will be flooding in for a lot of twins where, yeah, big time. And it'll just be like, you know, pretty weird for them, or you if you're watching this, but yeah. And what strength will I use to rebuild myself? So for Divine Feminines, what strength will Divine Feminines, regardless of gender, use to rebuild yourself? The Mystic Rose. Oh, look at that. It's the same one again. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. I'm just laughing. When I woke up this morning, again, something I don't do this every day, but sometimes I will either ask myself, like I said, I say this all the time, but a lot of the time, unless I've consciously asked for a sign, sometimes I don't know when I'm shown something clairvoyantly, where I'm being shown a vision, or whether I've created it. Well, it's quite hard to explain actually what I mean in that context. But anyway, I knew I was going to see something today a lot about the word grace, and that card's just come out twice. So I'm just laughing because I was going to just keep that to myself, but I'm being guided to say it now. So that's really quite funny. So yeah, the way that I forgot the question already. What strength will I use to rebuild myself? By having compassion, devotion, humility, basically by giving yourself the same grace that you would give others. That's really beautiful. So again, that's for Divine Feminines, but that's also for Divine Masculines, receptive side, opening up to the support that you need. And held, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. What strength will I use to rebuild myself? You'll use the support of the community. It's kind of like the other day when I said, like, you know, when I pulled that card about playing, and I was like, right, I had to ask myself, and that's what I mean about my self-awareness. Like, I tune in, like some days playing to me would be going and doing a Facebook Live, you know, feels like play, it's fun, and I'm in that energy. Sometimes it'd be like, do you know what, I'm not going to do anything to do with the YouTube channel and that, and I'm going to, because it's work, as much as it's playing me, it's work, and I'm actually going to go and do something else that's fun to me. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean about self-awareness. Like, it's kind of like I always used to use this, like years ago, I always used to use this example when I was on the Facebook Lives, or just with personal clients as well, or friends. I would always say, you know, think about how many times, like, you've been asked to a party, or a social event, or just even to go on a night out, and, you know, you've got people that stop to be like, I know they have asked me, and maybe even sometimes there's pressure that, like, or say it's just maybe even the two of you going out, like if I don't go out, they don't get to go out tonight or something like that. It's like, before you stop to think about everybody else and what everyone else wants you to do, whether it's one person or a group of people, there's the people that stop and be like, right, I know I've been asked to this thing, but do I actually want to go? Like, have I got the energy to go? Have I got, you know, am I in the right place mentally, spiritually, emotionally? Like, and, you know, check in with, yeah, actually I do want to go, that'll be fun, or actually no, I really actually don't want to do that. And, you know, you still might, we're all, you know, we're all human or whatever. You might be like, no, I'm not from here, whatever. But you know what I mean? It's like, again, and I hear you, but do you mean it's kind of like, and you might still have guilt, be like, oh, but if I don't go out, then they don't get to go out. But it's about you having that compassion for yourself. And if you don't feel like it, you got to be honest with yourself, right? And then you've got the people that are quite detached from themselves. And again, there's no judgment, because I've been this person at different points in my life as well. But it's kind of like, but I'm totally not now. But it's kind of like, you know, but actually, to be honest, I still could be, it depends what we're talking about here, but definitely not with something like a night out or whatever. But it's, you've got the people that just, they'll be asked to do something and they'll agree to it, and then they might even be so detached or disassociate from themselves that they haven't actually even connected with the bit that, like, this actually wouldn't be good for me. Like, and again, that would be, yeah, when you're just not wanting to face something. So I don't know if I've explained that, but hopefully I've explained it enough that you get what I mean. So there's something about having that compassion for yourself, and change the examples and whatever, wherever it makes sense. Did I do the masculine? No, so I didn't do the masculine one yet, did I? So let's see if that grace card comes out again. So what strength will the masculine use to rebuild themselves? And remember, I'm going to keep saying it, but divine feminines, you can still resonate with this too. What would be advised to rebuild their strength? Wow, healing the mother line, healing ancestral work. I've already channeled that. Mother line growing up. So again, there is something about, well, and that's kind of like what I was just channeling there, wasn't it? There is something about this energy about growing up. So I feel perhaps where some divine masculines may have felt like they were stuck in a bit more of a younger state, whether it be like child years or like inner, kind of, child years or teenage years, or and again, I totally resonate as a divine feminine. I resonate with bits of this too. So I even said that to my mum earlier. It's like, it's lovely to be close to your family. I'm extremely close with my family, but I have also taken time to identify and pull myself back from where I just needed to, because again, it is just that, I mean, this is a bit morbid, but there is just that inevitability of not everyone's going to live forever. You know what I mean? And you if you stay kind of in a bit of more of a child state, or I even think a teenage state, you're going to get a fright when, you know what I'm saying. So again, it is wise to just always be on top of that. And again, like I said, that's something I've been aware of for years, because I've went from, again, this is maybe the more vulnerable sort of shit. I don't mind saying this. Like, I've went from a place of, so I am a counsellor and a therapist too, but when I was in therapy, which I said, like I openly say all the time, because I'm proud of it, that the only reason I'm not in therapy now, because I find it so helpful, is because my therapist retired. So, so if I felt like that was going to be something that would support me again at any time I would absolutely do it, if I found the right person, and I would source them out until I did, kind of thing. I'd ask Spirit, like, help me to find the right counsellor or therapist or something. But what I'm trying to say is, there used to be a point in my life when I even as much as, like, basically what I'm trying to say is I could never, oh god, fuck, now I'm being drawn to the picture of my family when I'm saying that, but like, yeah, like, even like the thought of somebody close to me not being here anymore, like, specifically my mum and my dad, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, yeah, I'm not, it's okay if I was crying, but I'm just like, I can see a wee bit of my eyeliners. But now it's like, still, again, maybe devastating, but it's, I know that it's not, I knew that was, I hadn't healed a part of my inner child, or basically it was codependent, do you know what I mean? So it's, and that's what I mean about it. It's like, we can all be, yeah, codependent or something like that. Well, and again, I know, like, again, I'm not being funny, but I could see it across, like, every single one of my friends or people from my past or whatever, where it was the same, not exact same sort of things. And like I said, and I also know other people where it's not that at all, because they're not close. So it's kind of a double-edged, isn't it? It's lovely to be so close with your family or friends, because I've had that with friends too. I've channeled about that loads. But either way, what I'm trying to say is it's unhealthy. There has to be boundaries there. Right, okay, so yeah, so that for the masculine, it's about healing the mother line, but that could also be, oh yeah, so actually, shit, I forgot I was on that bit. So it is about, so I was more sort of channeling it a way of, like, basically, I can't always expect my family to be there to pick up the pieces. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's more practical ways. It's not emotionally, because, like, I'm everybody's emotional support for that. But it's comfort. I find a lot of comfort in my family and my close friends too. But I mean, a lot. I'm very close with that, and it's kind of like, Well, it's kind of like as well, I've always said this as well, it's like I've always been a total home bird and I don't like travelling, and it's like I would, the thought of like moving away, far away, would be like, no, like I would never do it. Whereas now I'm not actually opposed to it at all. And I kind of get it now, like, because it's like you can still have your independence and you can, and still be close with people, but you don't need to be right fucking next to them kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know who I'm speaking to when I'm saying that, but and you think about that, and then there's other people that have got completely different experiences to me where they, like, I've known people that move halfway across the fucking world to get away from their family. Do you know what I mean? So, everyone's got their own sort of problems, I suppose. Very interesting. Right. So healing the mother line can also be about you. The mother is about your feelings. So it's also about you paying more attention to your feelings for the masculines. And that's what will help you rebuild yourself. So yeah. I feel like I want one more card. What will help the masculines rebuild themselves to go with healing the mother line? Alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. Yeah, so I was getting a download about that. I feel, there's specifically something about that. Very interesting, because it was like they used math stuff, but now they're talking about things that are going to make sense to other people. Is at some point we have to, oh shit, and that's what the Mark Wright thing's about. At some point we have to shift from, like, when they're like family's everything. At some point, we need to shift from the family that we grew up with as a child to, well, we don't have to, but it's kind of like into being in a family of our own. And if we get kind of stuck, attached to a family that we grew up with, we could stay in a child state, we could stay in a teenage state, and that can make it difficult to even emit an energy that is even going to attract anyone that you're going to get anywhere remotely near to having your own family, your own children, if that's something that you want. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is really, really deep, actually. And this is probably when they were, wow, and I just said right relationship, alignment, and it's 111, and 111 is alignment, new beginnings. Yeah, so I feel this is some deep stuff, again, and it's like I'm being your therapist well, I'm always being a bit of a therapist on YouTube, but it's like, because I'm actually, that's so fun. Again, I bet Nix is going to find that hilarious, but it's like, now it really is like today, because I'm sitting here, it's like I'm sitting here as your therapist. But again, one that opens up a lot about her own shit, you're welcome, is that it's as if I'm sitting here helping somebody that's, got a lot of codependent, like, you're very attached to your family, and I'm sitting here saying, like, I get that, so am I. But I've managed to successfully unhook myself from where, I needed to. And without it being too disruptive, it's like can be done. And you've got helpers in the subtle realms, release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding all change in the void. And that's what we're in. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. So remember, I said the dark moon right now is the void. So again, I really do feel so it seems that there's lots of you that are healing codependency, actually. And particularly it feels like codependent, like needing your family. And right, this is so complex, but I do get it, because with that right family in that program, I need to explain it in a way for people that don't know what the program is. They're always like, family's everything, and family and family and family. But to the point where what I saw in the program was, whenever any of those children who were teenagers or older adults had a partner, the mum especially was like really overly critical of the boyfriend with the sister. So do you mean? And it was like, and it's so interesting, because at the time when I was watching it, that's when all that kind of codependency and all that kind of shit wasn't on my radar. And but I just knew I didn't like it, and I was just like, fucking hell, man, like, give him a break. Like, he's like, the way that they're being is literally going to drive him away. And I actually felt they were a really nice couple. And it made sense to me too, because they're both Virgos, right? But so basically the point is, again, the point is that's when it can be a problem. So although it could come from a good place, like only wanting the best for your son or daughter, a lot of people would be of the opinion, and nobody's going to be good enough for your son or daughter. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, and that's where this is what I help empower people with. You need to be empowered as an adult, because if you're watching this video, you are an adult. Well, I hope you are. If you're not, you need to click off now. Go and find something of child variety. Not to patronise you, but again, I do swear a lot and stuff and talk about adult stuff. But it's kind of like, yeah, that's really deep, but I get it. It's basically because I've saw that several times where it's people are too involved and then they end up breaking up a couple that were actually a really good couple. Because actually even goes the other way, because I remember in that I'm remembering really dramatic episodes, because even with that girl that had the boyfriend, his mum was really scary. So it was her mum was really quite interfering, and his mum was really interfering as well. I don't know about interfering, but it was all a bit fucked up actually. So now that I'm looking at it from a but the point is it's like, yeah, it's something I read anyway. That's too complicated, but yeah. So do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness, untamed. Like you should be able to like. So it's like when I say things about like, look, I absolutely adore my family, but when they disagree with me, that's fine. But I do it my way. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I know like many people will just not do something because their family says it. And again, it's about, I'm here to say like, you know, you're an adult. And me and my dad have had enough arguments about that he's accepted that about me. Like, yeah, my dad doesn't do, I mean, he might, maybe now and again he might, but he doesn't really now, like, you know. He did say it the other day, but he said in a funny way, like, because I said something about, I don't know, I was having a rare moment of being saying something about, like, I think I was talking about the energies or the planet or something like that, and he was like, yeah, I said, because I'm a something, and he says, yeah, and I'm your dad, and I was like, but he said it'd be funny, I was like, yeah, I know you're my dad, but that doesn't change that I'm this, do you know what I mean? And we just laughed. So do you know what I mean? That's kind of like, I've kind of moved through all the drama of it, is what I'm saying. So I suppose I'm here to say in a light-hearted way, some of it can be pretty challenging, but when you heal enough of that and you weather the storm, you can come to quite a better place. That's what I'm saying. Right, so what gift will I receive in my new state of being? Right. So what gift will the Divine Feminines receive in their new state of being after this? So again, I'm intending that this is for the energies of the new moon in Gemini, but it really could resonate whenever, so just whatever. What gift will they receive? Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Well, the gift that you'll receive is like basically accepting that this is all part of the divine plan. Exactly where you're at is where you're meant to be. And remember, seeding the light has got a lot to do with when I was talking about the ley lines and wherever you're guided to go in the world. And look, there's the Egyptian again. I feel a lot of past life stuff coming up. Align your life. What's no longer in alignment with who you truly are? That was the previous question. So the gift that you'll receive, Divine Feminine, is trusting the divine plan, laying your own foundations for who you are without everybody else's input, and that can go for Divine Masculine's feelings as well. And yeah, just get like aligning your life with who you are now, without all the bits and pieces of who people see. Because see that card always reminds me of what I was talking about, disassociation. This is someone that's like, after a dark night of soul, it's like you're learning to put yourself back together, or if you've already went through your dark night of soul, you're still doing the deeper healing of unpacking what society has told you who you need to be, or people around you. So that's really deep, right? What gift is divine? Oh my god, what's this say? Oh fuck, this is, look, I can already see how it look. So I remember in clarity. So Divine Masculine's gift is awakening, and because they've awakened to what I've just channeled there, they've got the clarity and ready for a fresh start. Soul plan, the fated life via the destined life, via the destiny life, and clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I remember, but that's the biggest thing here. I remember. How do I, now if that shows up mirrored, I'm going to work out how to, I'm going to maybe take a photo after and I'm going to keep that card out for the, yeah, I remember. And again, so this is complicated, right? But I get, this is so obvious, but they're getting me to explain it, that it's like, this is when this happens. So people are at different parts of the timeline. So for some people, you might be like really close to this bit. For other people, it might be a while away. But it's like, this is when the divine masculine pulls away from all of whatever, whoever resonates with what I just channel, because it's not for everyone. So use your fucking common sense. I don't know why I like to say fucking, but I do. Again, you see, that's just, I do. Yeah, it's part. This is part of, you know, your soul plan. Like, acceptance part of your soul plan, and you've got clarity on it. And it's like, you know, what I've actually caught this week is, and again, I've channeled this message out before as well, but, and it kind of ties in with, it's interesting, I haven't published the video because it was very long and I haven't watched it back yet, so I might publish it, you know, at some point further down the line. But I shared a story that I found, the witch and the curse card. It's like, you know, one of my circle cards. Just, it was randomly under, like, you know, that ottoman or the, you know, the table or something on its own. And I was getting a download about, yeah, it's like there's been a spell cast. Like, again, I literally feel, for many people, it's like, yeah, it's complicated, but it's like, it's almost as if it has been a curse. So whether it's like a family curse, a generational curse, or someone's actually, you know, but it's, I've saw a lot of, I've been guided to a lot of different people saying the same thing, that like a spell has been broken or lifted, or and again, you know, it's something that I will do a separate healing video about that. Yeah, but basically it's important that you pray for that every day. Pray about that every day, because it's like, there are some really fucked up people out there that will try their best to keep you and your twin apart, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Right, okay, so that wasn't heavy at all, was it? Right, so now we'll just go into a quick, because this has been a lot longer than I meant it to be. So where is the Divine Feminine Collective in the physical? Staying grounded, and again, that is the message that I channeled for today's shorts. The Divine Feminines are staying grounded, or being guided to stay grounded, and trusting. Ask, listen, allow. So again, ask for the divine for what it is you need to do right now, whether it's taking action or resting. I'd say more so leaning towards the resting. Listen and allow. So, or ask for help, listen, and allow it to come in. So each people will struggle with different bits and bobs of that. And when you do, mission accomplished, welcome home, 11:11. And the swans are always about twin flame union. Oh God, my nose is really itchy now. Whose granny's coming in to give the support? Oh my God. Ugh. Wow. Oh shit. Right, okay, so, sorry, minging, but my nose is there a window open? Maybe the hay fever is getting to me now. Maybe just because I've been doing this for this long. Where's the masculine at to go with that, and the physical? Feminine twin. All makes sense with what I've channeled. Activating higher self. So what I take that to mean is, because the divine masculines have been, their heart is opening, or your heart is opening. Sorry, I kind of channel all different ways. It's hard to kind of stick with it, but it's your heart's opening or their heart's opening, and they're setting love and boundaries of who they need to. See how that fits with everything that I've channeled. For some people, it could be family members. For some people, it could be friends that have got too much input. For some people, it could be a mix of both, or whoever else that could be. But it's setting love and boundaries, and getting in touch with the true feelings. And the only way that you can really do that, and taking responsibility and acknowledging feelings where they need to, 1, 2, 3, is taking the steps to do that, is by having that time to yourself. And so you see, that's what I mean about codependency too. If you're the kind of person that, like, you literally hang out with your family all the time, or your friends all the time, or both, and you're never alone, you see, that's what codependency is. It's people that can't be alone. Like, you know, they just don't like being alone. And it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? You need to learn to to have that time by yourself, because if you're literally always with someone, you're not going to know who you truly are. You're never drowning out the noise of the other people to find who you truly are. And that's why some people really don't want to. You know, some people do just want to live in a bubble, and but yeah, so this is for the people that want to work on that. Right, okay, so, and is the guy from the garage going to make an appearance? If you're wondering what I'm talking about, there's a card in this with a man with a horse with a bunch of roses, and I always call it the guy from the garage, and it's kind of stuck. Right, so chivalry, I think that's that card. Right, so what have we got for the Divine Feminine? Reparenting yourself. Now, isn't fucking, that's fascinating with what I've been saying. Reparenting yourself and intimacy. And again, that is, again, the downloads, fuck's sake, man, is this a hay fever? Is this to do with the messages and the energies? But my nose is like, I want to fucking scratch my nose. Anyway, I really could do some. Right. Wait a minute, I'll drink some water. It's just really, really itchy. I think it's to do with the energies. It'll be the hay fever too, but I don't think the window is open. I don't think the window's open. Right. Before I read these, right. So again, this is for divine feminines, but it's divine masculines feelings. And like I say, you may be a divine feminine that's worked through a lot of this, but some of you won't have, because otherwise it wouldn't be coming out. You're reparenting yourself, right, where you need it. So that'll be different for different people. But I feel for some specifically, because intimacy is there as well, it's kind of like what I was saying. If you always have anyone in your space, like codependent with a best friend, or I did channel about that in one of the videos too, and I used a Towie example of, there's a lot of couple of friends, whether it be two guys or two girls, that are like best pals and they do everything together, but it's like you could be literally blocking the way of love, you know, whether it be a twin flame or soulmates before a twin flame or whatever. You could be blocking the way of intimacy with a partner because you're so codependent with family or friends or both. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel that's about. Right, so and you might not be able to see it, because I definitely know at different points in my life I didn't see it like that, but I do now. Right, but again, I live with no regrets, because I've got, like you say, I've got Chiron in, Chiron in Gemini, in the 7th house, and it's I've just opened it up at intimacy first, so I'm going to read that. Yeah, and that is about it. I was meant to, well, to me, the way I interpret it with all the different planets that are about there, is it was always going to be a very lonely ride for most of my young adult life, teenage life, yeah, basically. Right, so, but not forever. True intimacy occurs when you reveal the tender, innocent, and idealistic side of yourself. Be open to its love and influence in your life. True intimacy is a powerful and beautiful energy that will transform your relationships. Most of us have experienced physical intimacy during sex, yet we all know that sex, no matter how good, does not sustain a full relationship. Emotional and spiritual intimacies are the key to a deeper interpersonal connection. In recent years, intimacy between friends and partners is replaced by sharing of emotional and spiritual wounds, but the angels and guides say your potential or existing partner is not meant to be your healer or therapist. So again, that's so interesting, because I literally just channeled earlier in the video that divine feminines were being guided to, if you haven't already done this. But again, even if you have already done it, be open to where you might need to do it with something, and it'll be different for different people. Because maybe it's a past trauma has surfaced and you need to face that, because if you don't face it, your divine masculine won't either, but you need to do it for you. Do you know what I mean? Wait a minute, I've read it before, so I kind of just want to get to the... Intimacy also includes physical closeness without sex, feeding one another. Oh, this is the random examples. Feeding one another, washing or styling your partner's hair. Again, unless they're a fucking hairdresser or something, I don't think so. But anyway, placing a blanket over your partner when they fall asleep, or having a bath together, are just a few examples. Some of the most profound intimate moments happen when there's no conversation at all. Your beautiful connection is enhanced by a glorious sunset or a graceful bird, and the grace again. Bird on the wing. You've drawn this card today because your soul longs for you to understand how real intimacy arises and to make yourself available to its loving influences from now on. But remember, make yourself available. So those of you that are not making yourself available for love, need to take that on board. Right. Reparenting yourself. Free yourself from the past, and remember, Cancer, the fourth house is the past. And again, I've got a lot of placements in that area of my chart as well, where that's why I'm always healing past lives. I feel past lives like so real, I can't even put in the words. Yeah, love it, it's totally my thing. Free yourself from the past so you're more able to give and receive love in the present. Some of the most difficult things to let go of in life are the emotional hurts and disappointments from childhood. As adults, these old wounds can block us and hold us back, or cause us to repeat unhealthy patterns in our relationships. And you see, I already know, you see, these are the Divine Feminine's cards, but they can resonate with Divine Masculine's feelings. But you see, if Divine Feminines go through this, your twin mirrors you. So they're showing you that it's, because it's often the Divine Masculine that we home in them, but I always home in them both. But it's just the way the cards come out, majority of the time, it comes out a lot, it's like Divine Feminine stuff is being revealed right now or something, but it's like, a lot of the time it's the Divine Masculine's pain that, that gets focused in on, but I can feel it's like they're doing something here, but it's like, there's stuff, Divine Feminines are being thrown big challenges this year. You might have already had them, I know that I have, last year and this year. But, and it's basically, it's about how you handle that, whether you're going to run away from it, because if you run away from your problems, they run away from theirs. So yeah, it's all very deep, but naturally, we all know that it's impossible to go back and change what happened in the past. Maybe you've tried resolving the issue with a person or people concerned, and maybe you aren't even sure what it is that still weighs you down. And you see, if you're somebody that you don't know what it is that's holding you back, book a session with me, right? We'll do some hypnotherapy, or we'll do a shamanic journey, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I'll get in touch with that unconscious, your subconscious part of you. People might assume that childhood wounds only arise after serious mistreatment, such as violence in the home, but the truth is it's often the less dramatic things that leave the greatest impression. Sometimes something like a parent being stuck in hospital on your birthday, or a sibling who always did better at school than you. This card has always come up for you today because your child aspect, this is what I've channeled, needs you to care for and reparent it now, even if you weren't aware of any specific experience or hurt. Your child aspect is saying, I need you. So that's really deep, and it's worth it being longer. It really fits with what we're saying about the Divine Feminines. I feel are being, there's something about the Divine Feminines are being put into quite a vulnerable feminine place of needing support, and you can decide who that is you get that from, but that's what I'm getting. Yeah. But I do feel it is going to be for about when your masculine steps up, allowing them to support you as well. Basically supporting each other. And but that is for Divine Masculines too, because Divine Masculines need to allow Divine Feminines to support them back too. Yeah. Follow the steps of the simple exercise on the following page in order to enjoy a profound experience of healing and deep connection with the innocent and loving part of yourself. This will help you to be more open, loving, and being loved as an adult. Oh, right, okay, well, this is interesting. I've picked the right card, because then I can do... How long is this going to take, though? Right, I'm going to read this, right? So... No, I'm not going to... I'll read the masculine one and then I'll read it, right? So let's see what the masculine get, because I'll finish it with that. What's the masculine got in the physical? So it's only the Divine Feminines, Divine Masculines that resonate with this, and you'll know whether you resonate with it or not. Divine Masculine, we have... I love it when that happens. Oof, that's definitely not all of them, but anyway, I'll reserve judgment. So... I don't know. I love it that I don't need to read it again. Intimacy. So, and that's the main card. Where's the main? Oh, so, ooh. Holy shit, man. Right, the way I'm understanding that is the Divine Feminine's main card was reparenting yourself. And it was the one that was on the bottom of the deck was the intimacy. And Divine Masculine's main card is intimacy, and the other one is commitment, which is hilarious. And that's interesting. There was one swan on the other card with the twin flame cards, and now there's two swans. And swans are about true love, to me anyway, but to most people. But, well, to a lot of people. But now there's two swans coming together. Do you see what I mean? And there's also a full moon there. I hate when the message, I hate strong, but yeah, I don't like when the message, because it's like, this is a new moon, and it does always seem like when I'm channeling, it's like, oh, and then this could, but again, it is a full moon, so I do feel that there could be something around commitment, either someone making a bigger commitment to themselves, or making a commitment to a twin, or, but there's something about that. And this is what's, so basically what I'm saying is, it's like, for the Divine Feminine Collective right now are focused on something around giving yourself back something that you need. Yeah, basically. Allowing yourself, but like allowing others to support you with something that you need right now. This is just in the current time that I'm channeling this energy for whatever. Whoever resonates with it. If you're not at this bit, you're not at this bit. And what's surfacing in the Divine Feminine is, once you've worked through whatever that is, or you may, I'm actually feeling you could work through whatever that is alongside the intimacy with a twin, for whoever this is for, or just if they're not here, you're working through that yourself. But the masculine having intimacy as the, because obviously it's like the conscious and the subconscious. The masculine consciously is what their focus is wanting the intimacy, and it just doesn't. It's not intimacy with others. This wave, it's the intimacy with the twin, is what is consciously in the awareness, and then the commitment that you see is obviously is like that's what's rising. So that actually does make sense now. That for some it's like the masculine is focused on the intimacy with the feminine, and what is coming in the future is like, so it doesn't need to be necessarily the next full moon in a couple of weeks, it's just like around a full moon. So it could even be, right, that it's like something, a communication, because that's what communication starts up for some twins around this new moon and Gemini cycle, and 6 months from now commitments could be made. That makes sense, right? Okay, let's read commitment, and then I'll do this reparenting yourself. But it's amazing when you get doubler cards like that. I love it. So, a healthy commitment is the unshakable bedrock of a loving, secure relationship. And again, that's the key thing here, secure relationship. Because with twin flames, what is the key thing here is all twin flames, there's a core wound of abandonment with both twins. And so you've always got to look to, where are you abandoning yourself? As a divine feminine, you know what I mean? And that's really deep, but you always have to look at stuff like that. And like I say, because your twin is your mirror. And the divine feminine is the energetic leader. And they follow what you do. But that is really complex. But that is how it works, right? So, when you truly commit to being in a loving relationship, you actually create another living entity. There's you, your partner, and then there's your relationship. You will have commitments to yourself, commitments to your partner, commitments to the relationship. All three of these elements will need ongoing love, attention, nurturing. And you can see why a lot of people run from it, because it's like, fucking hell, that feels like a lot of work. I can't even be doing that. But it's kind of like, behind that voice that just spoke is fear. And it's whatever you've associated that to be. And that's why communicating with anyone, like, again, this is my counselor part coming in, but this is my Gemini, my Chiron and Gemini in the same house, because it's, again, that is the couple's counselor part of me. So this can just go for anyone, doesn't need to just be twin flames. It's like, that's why, with different attachment styles, if you are less securely attached, as in, to me, that's the people that have went nowhere near any kind of counselling or therapy, majority of the time. And that's fine, because again, we've been conditioned to, like, oh, you only need to do that in a serious kind of case. No, everyone needs boundaries, and everyone would benefit from some kind of therapy at some point in their life. And because everyone's got trauma. Every single person has trauma. And they can come up whenever, which is why I'm never opposed to, like, just because I had 7 years of it, it's not like, oh, I'll never go to counselling again. No, no way. Like, I would. It's about communicating clearly. Like, rather than just assuming that, oh my God, this person wants all this stuff from me, they want this, that, and that, and I'm not ready to give all that. Do you know what I mean? You might be assuming wrong. You know what I mean? And especially, it's kind of like with your twin. That one's an interesting one because, like I say, you mirror each other. So, oh, that's way too deep, and I can't even bother getting into it. But I get what they're saying. It's like you just need to have a conversation. But unfortunately, lots of people just don't want to go anywhere near that conversation because, particularly if you're like dismissive, avoidant, kind of, there's forget the labels, but especially some people really don't like conflict. And I don't particularly enjoy conflict. Who likes conflict? Do you know what I mean? We just want peace. But it's about it's a part of life, you know what I mean? And you can't forever run away from communicating. And with twin flames, it's about having a conversation with yourself. So that's why you need to go inwards and hermit and have a conversation with yourself, like literally get to know yourself really well, divine feminines. And then your divine masculine at some point along the line will do the same. And then you can eventually have a conversation with one another. And for those of you that are, I'm being shown now, for those of you that already are in conversation with them, because that's the kind of way of your dynamic, it would just be kind of like what I said about when I was wondering about that married couple. Like, I wonder how close they actually do connect. You know what I mean? So you might sort of see them in everyday life or see them every now and again, but it's like you don't. You're kind of at that Gemini surface chat. You know what I mean? And there's all these deeper feelings bubbling under the surface. Yeah. Right. Okay. Different for different people. So, naturally, it's important to consider what you're committing yourself to, and it's imperative to commit to a loving person as they appear to you in the present moment, not how you think they should be once you knock them into shape. Yeah, exactly. It's about accept yourself how you are and accept your twin. But that doesn't mean you accept bullshit. Again, I explain this all the time, but it's like if your twin is showing up in toxic ways or well, if they're just not showing up at all. But I suppose, different things for different people. But it's like you've got to love yourself and accept yourself and really value yourself. And it's difficult, but it can be done. And because it is about your twin is your mirror. And like that's why I say it's like, there's intense emotions with twin flames, but it's like, and you bring up all their triggers and their traumas and everything. And again, it's not that they bring up yours too. That's the point. They bring up, that's the point. You both bring up each other's. That is the point. It's not fun for either. But they're pulling me at the word love. But there's a lot of love there, and it's unconditional love. And when you have a conversation, I feel there's going to be a lot of clearing up and misunderstandings and miscommunication amongst all the other bullshit and drama and stuff. But it's vital that you see through these delusions as well as the temptation to diminish potentially stressful habits or circumstances. That's what I just said about avoiding conflict. You can't avoid conflict for the rest of your life. In an existing relationship beset by problems, it is important to commit to your own health and well-being first, which is why separation is important. And, that silence, and definitely the ones in the dark night of the soul need that to move through that, because you've just not got the mental capacity to face anything, really, a conversation, until you have. Once you're feeling more balanced, you will have more positive energy to share. So I feel that's a message for Divine Feminines about, remember that's where Divine Masculines are at, it's about to reach 144. In an existing relationship, beset by, I just read that bit. Once you're feeling, commitment can be a prison or the key to the freedom and great personal growth. And you have drawn this card today because your angels and guides are reminding you to commit or recommit to your own happiness before you begin a new relationship. Attempt to revive one you're currently involved in, 144. And that's because that's what twin flames are here to embody and teach and show the world. Is, look, we're in a lovey-dovey, well, it might be lovey-dovey, but we're in a loving, committed, I was about to say unconventional too, committed, unconventional relationship where we both still feel free. Like, we go to sleep at night, loving each other. We wake up in the morning still choosing each other when we've got the freedom to walk away. Do you know what I mean? And because that is what twin flames are. It's like you're both free beings, sovereign beings, but you're choosing each other because you've went through all this crap that you're like, this is my person, because it is fucking your energy. True commitment is not about trying to get more from the other person or signing contracts that hang the threat of legal recourse overhead should one of you grow in unexpected direction. Yeah, that really fits with what I just said. The unhealthy commitments are trying to change or rescue someone, becoming a draining obligation in which no one can be truly happy. Again, codependency. So that's about, like, the money grabbers and all that, whatever sex, that get involved with either twin flame, financial abuse, money grabbers, whatever you want to call it, people that use people for money. And that's not what twin flames are about at all. But the irony is, it's really quite, it's not funny, but twin flames can make a shitload of money together, but only when it's genuine. True twin flames, when it's genuine and you've worked things out together and you're on your mission, yeah, money will just come. Money, abundance, good things will come to you. But only if both people have integrity and it's genuine. When you're ready to commit to your life and who you need to be, an appropriate love match will appear with a commitment that equals your own. Right, okay. So now we're going to end it with this. So that's interesting. It came around the 144 mark. They know what they're doing there. And okay, I don't know why I'm being guided to this wordy one, but we'll trust. So what is it? So someone's divine masculine energy, or quite a few of you's divine masculine energy, or you are the divine masculine energy, wants to say what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Right, okay. It's all of these in this order. So, look at what I've been saying most of this video. I run away to avoid facing my problems, right? Now, this is interesting because this is not just the divine masculine. They gave an example here. The guide spoke through me saying, divine femmes, if you run away from any problem, it can be unrelated. That's a weird thing. 8 years of working with the twins and having a bird's eye view. You could be running away from some kind of work issue in your life. But if you keep running away from facing that, the divine masters could keep running away from facing something with you. Do you know what I mean? So it's not as complicated. It's not the exact same in your life. So that's the only way I can really describe it. I'd have to do a personal session with you to identify it for you. But I run away to avoid facing my problems. Could be for both. Will you give me a second chance? Definitely feels like an energy I'm channeling for some, because I'm done playing games and I'm done with toxicity in my life or me having toxic traits, and I feel lost without you. Again, that is a masculine. It's awakened to the fact that, hey, this person means a lot to me, a lot more than I've been admitting to myself, and it's really surfaced. And you inspire me in so many ways, and your light heals them. Whether they can see you or not, they can feel you. Beautiful. Right, let's read this. So, we require a quiet place where you can sit down or lie down comfortably, uninterrupted, a pillow or a cushion, and we need about 15 minutes. Are you kidding? Well, I'm just going to read it. I doubt I'm going to read it. It's going to take 15 minutes, but we'll just see. So, make sure that all your phones and electronic devices are turned off, and then sit or lie down comfortably with a pillow or a cushion with an easy reach. Or you could just close your eyes, whatever you're doing. So, what I want you to do is, before I do that, I'm going to do just the clearing that I always do. So, close your eyes, and I want you to breathe in through your nose, telling yourself relax. And breathe out through your mouth, telling yourself release. Breathe in again through your nose, telling yourself relax. And breathe out through your mouth, telling yourself release. And I want you to begin to imagine a cloud of mist forming above the top of your head. And this cloud of mist has the power to dispel any negative energies, entities, or anything hanging about your aura that doesn't serve you at this time. So just imagine or just know, sense that cloud of mist is falling down over the top of your head, pulling down all over your chakras, down over your eyes, relaxing your eyes, but not so much that you can open your eyes if you want to right now. But you're gonna, because you're in total control, that's the point. But you want to just close your eyes and relax because you want to receive this healing. Because although this is in this book and I'm reading it, knowing me, I'll probably change it a little bit and channel extra into it. And the way that I'm doing it as well, you may go into a bit of deep hypnosis, but hypnosis is just relaxation, so just go with it. So, and because I've been talking for so long too, that's really good for doing this. So, and I actually do feel like I'm going to do a bit of clearing around curses, spells, black magic, all of that. It feels like they do want me to do it now. So, because you never know, that might make all the difference for someone's union. So we'll put that out there. So, and I'll do another one at a separate point that's smaller. So see that energy going down over your heart, and we're calling Saint Germain and Lady Portia and the Violet Flame to cleanse, clear and delete any previous requests that no longer serve your highest good, to make way for what will serve your highest good and the highest good of all involved, mostly you and your twin flame, and they're receiving that help as well if their higher self gives permission, and the energy goes down over all your chakras, over your solar plexus, pulling back your power wherever you've given your power away, knowingly or unknowingly, across all time, space and dimension, all timelines, versions of self, you and your twin, going over your sacral chakra, pulling back your energy and your sacred creative energy wherever that has been attacked or siphoned, is what I'm hearing, or you could just be low energy for other reasons, and pulling in that grounding energy at the root chakra. And now we're releasing that down the old earth of fear, lack and negativity. We're letting that all go, letting go of the pain and keeping the lessons. And I'm now asking that all, now this is where I just channel it, because again I'm like, fucking hell, there's things I won't know the name of, but I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm asking for any form of black magic, witchcraft, voodoo, any binding spells that have been done to you alone or your twin alone, or any binding spells keeping you and your twin apart, or anything that's like binding you to someone else that isn't your twin, or binding your twin to someone else that isn't you, any kind of spells that are done to cast an illusion over the divine masculine about who the true feminine is, anything that is cast upon the divine feminine about who the divine masculine is, because I've seen that happen as well. Anything like that at all that is done in the dark. And that's why you've got to, they're telling me as well, you've got to protect your energy at this dark moon in particular, and at this new moon Gemini, because there's lots of folk out there that do loads of fucked up shit, right, at times like this. So yeah, protect your energy and do all the stuff that works for you. But yes, we are asking that anything that has already been done, anybody watching this video, for that to lift up off of, I'm commanding that is lifted up off of you now, you and your twin now. That energy is not welcome. And that clarity will come instantly wherever that sabotage has happened, if it hasn't already come to people before this. And this is quite specific, but they're making me feel something in my stomach, and there's some kind of energetic attack that has happened around the stomach area. And I do know what's particular, energies that can be. So again, I'm asking that wherever there has been specific energetic psychic attacks, or the stomach is all about your confidence, your energy, it's like this, I see it as like the sun. It's like it's the soul, it's the control panel of your chakras. it's your empowerment, it's your happiness, it's your joy. And when you've not got your happiness, your joy, and you fall into depression, there's some kind of attack has been happened to, again, it could be like your physical stomach, like stomach issues, digestion, anything like that, bloating, or it could be emotionally, like you've just had no joy, or it's something like that. It's like someone has attached negative. Do you know what, as well? I'm hearing it's like when people get an energy or an attachment, like to do with overeating and stuff as well. So it's different. I'm picking up on different things for different people, but whatever it is, I'm just clearing that for whoever is resonating with that. And again, on this channel, we do not send back negative energy to whoever done it. I am strongly guided, never. It doesn't matter if I was guided, I wouldn't do it. You can see I'm very serious about that. I cannot stand that. I'm going to be honest. I catch some people saying that now and again, and it's a shame, because there'll be people that actually do love the message or love their personality and everything. But that is not something at all that I would recommend anyone do. No good can come from that. Even if someone has sent you negative energy with ill intentions, never send it back to them, because whatever you send back to them, yeah, it does come back to you. So although people say things like, oh, whatever you're sending to me, I'll send you it back, whatever, I don't even like saying it, finishing the sentence, because I don't agree with it. We just take whatever fuckery they've done to you, or whoever that applies to, or to your twin, and we send it down to the old earth, the fear, the lack, the negativity, the fuckery, and they can keep that bullshit, and we are ascending to higher heights. And so we detach from that energy, and we now call in the lightness, the joy, the healing from the Holy Spirit, and the angels, and the guides, and the loved ones of spirit, and whatever your power animals, and whatever your ancestors. But all this healing, I was even, you should have your eyes closed, but I mean, whatever, it's like, I smiled when I said that, but it's like, just joyful, happy, uplifting, freedom, inner child energy, without whatever has been cast in the illusions over whoever that applies to. And again, I kind of feel it's like the whole twin flame collective as a whole, because like I said, I've helped a lot of people in personal sessions where they were adamant that someone was their twin flame, and it turns out no, they actually weren't. So do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like complicated when that happens, but it does happen to people, and I'm good at helping them. So now we can pull up what you need from the new earth, whatever it is you feel you need today, and I'm going to now carry on with reading this. So think back to your childhood, around the ages of 3 to 8 years, and reflect on where you were living and what your life was like back then, as best as you can. What did you look like? What did you wear? What did you spend most of your time doing? Feel yourself being that child again. Just go along with whatever comes through. And now imagine your child self facing you and reaching up his or her arms towards you. Imagine yourself bending forward and picking up your child self and wrapping your arms around him or her. Or you may choose to crouch down to their height and give them a lovely big hug. Now, for those of you that have done my inner child soul retrieval, which I've done about 3 years ago now, the one I'm thinking of, long before I got these cards, my one is actually very similar to this, but it's because a lot of inner child things would be, but I just channeled that. I didn't get that from anywhere. And but this is very similar, and it's very helpful. So give yourself a big hug, and you could hug your cushion or your pillow, or wrap your arms around yourself to really experience the power of reconnecting with this part of yourself. Allow yourself a few minutes to feel and enjoy it. And know that as I'm reading this, I'm not just reading it, I'm sending you that energy to retrieve back that part of you as well. So they wanted me to do this deeper work with you today to help you reconnect with that part of you. And again, I very much suspect this will be for the people that haven't yet sought out that deeper help from, like I say, the conditioning of, society, that kind of stuff about, oh, you only need counselling if you're going through something really bad, which is totally not true. But as long as you're being open to this help, that is a good start. While hugging your child self, begin speaking with him or her in your mind, or out loud if you prefer, and tell your child self that you're aware of them and that you can't change the past or make things different, but that things are going to improve from now on. But what I would step in and say is, this is general, so obviously I have to keep it general, but you actually can change your brain chemistry around what happened in the past. And I mean with really traumatic stuff, which will be different for different people. So again, if you do want to do that and you trust me, that is what I do with people, have done for many years, and will continue to do throughout the years. So yeah, that's what's a wee bit different about the different kind of work that I do, is we can do that. Let them know that you're totally aware of your child self. Reassure your child self that as an adult, you're here to reparent him or her now, and that you're here to protect, nurture, and love them. Keep talking with your child self in whatever way feels comforting and healing. Acknowledge that it's time to let go of past hurts and to move forward together. So I'm just going to stay quiet and give you a minute or two to do that and really feel it. And in personal sessions, the people I work with, I always give them the option to talk to themselves, but a lot of the time they ask if I can talk to the inner child and channel what your inner child needs to hear. So before I leave you to be in silence to talk to your inner child, I'm just going to say that you matter. You're loved. You're appreciated. Whoever it is that anyone has told you you are in the past, or still does tell you now, or even just gives you that impression, you get to decide who you are today, and you get to decide who you'll be tomorrow, and so on. You don't need to live in that version of yourself that other people have told you that you are. You can leave that behind. You can become who you want to be now. So forgive yourself if the way in which you've acted in the past, or even still, the recent past, you're not proud of, or whatever it is coming up for people. And just allow yourself to let that go. And I'm just being drawn to the fact that in real time, the healing that I channeled for today was the Holy Spirit. It was the Holy Spirit and rest that came out. But I specifically got from somewhere that it was about forgiving yourself and forgiving others. So that's really in there right now. You can begin again and start anew. So if you weren't the commitment type before and you want to be now, you can be that. Don't allow what other people have told you that you are to define what you want to be now. You get to decide. Or whatever else is coming up, but that was coming through. Just give you another wee minute of silence here, and then I'll continue. Okay, and now what they're asking me to just change it up a little bit here. So now what I want you to do is put a call out to the inner child of your true twin flame. Just, again, I want you to not focus so much on trying to imagine what they would have looked like as a kid or anything like that. Of course, some of you might know if you'd known them at that age, but that won't be everyone watching this, obviously. Or you might never have met them before and you can still do it as well. So just focus on an energy. So if they appear to you as a little kid or whatever, that's fine, but they could appear as anything, or just an energy or an animal. But just call forth your twin flames, part of their inner child. And I want you to put your hand out to their inner child, which is symbolic of you're just putting your hand out, as if like a kid would innocently be like, do you want to play? Like they don't have all the hesitation and the worries and the anxiety, and they don't have all of that stuff around them that adults can often get. So you're just putting out your hand to your twin flame's inner child. Just see if they put their hand out to you, or like say the energy feels open. And just know and sense, whether you can see this in your mind's eye or not, it doesn't really matter, because I know some of you aren't that visual with that, but just feel it, and if you can't feel it, just know that it's happening, that you and your twin flame right now, and again, I'm holding that space for the collective, that I'm putting my two hands together, and you and your twin flames, parts of your inner child, are you're either holding their hand, interlocking their hand, or you're hugging. You're telling, I'm just going to stay quiet for again 30 seconds or a minute, and just repeat all the things that you feel they need to hear. Right. So now that we've done that, I want, as you're saying this to your inner child, know that your twin flame's inner child is also listening. And it could even result as well, again, we're not going to know that unless people share their experiences, but it could result as well in them having some sort of dream to do with, I don't know, something like this, but we'll just go with it. So let your child self know that he or she doesn't have to come into the adult world with you all the time. So basically what I'm saying is, as I'm saying this to your inner child and you're saying this to your inner child, your twin's inner child is listening too, and they will feel the healing from it. They don't need to come in the adult world with you all the time, and that's fine for them to stay at home and play and be safe while you go to work or deal with situations that a child might feel overwhelmed by. Reassure your child self that your new awareness of them means that you can never forget their existence or pretend that they aren't an active part of you ever again. And I want you to now create a clear intention that you and your child self are close friends from now on, and that you have the emotional and spiritual maturity to take care of them. And I'm also going to add in that you and your twin flame are close friends from now on. In the physical, when that's divinely timed, but energetically, you're always close friends. You're best friends. You are the same energy. And when it's ready to spill over and manifest in the physical, you trust that it will. And that you will take care of them and they will take care of you, and you're equal. And that nobody is doing anything that they don't want to do. It is a mutual pull, like magnets, and you're pulled together at the exact right time for your union. So nobody has to control it. Just surrender and be. Imagine you or your child self merging so that you become one complete and whole. So again, I want you to now imagine whatever you're guided to do with what I say right now. So you can either imagine taking your little, this is actually very like mine, take your little inner child and put them in your heart. And we're guided to invite, oh, I felt that in my heart too, I felt a lot of heat. Invite your twin flame to take their inner child, and we're doing that for, encouraging them to sending their little inner child back into their heart. Or you can imagine the two little parts of both your inner childs being merged as one and bringing that both into your heart and into their heart. In truth, it's both. This is an inner child soul retrieval and balancing the energies. But I would always advise a one-to-one session is going to do that in a bigger way, but this feels very healing as well. So you can do whatever feels right to you. And imagine that you and your child self merging so that you become one complete and whole. Then imagine wrapping both of you up in a beautiful cocoon of energy and light. Whatever colour comes to you is fine. Imagine this gorgeous energy surrounding you so that you feel safe, cosy and loved. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So that was a bit longer, but that's fine. And oh look, that was the one I'd done on the shorts before. And the thing that's quite interesting about this is when I looked at it quickly on the shorts, I thought it was like two giraffes, like, two giraffes the same age. And I was like, oh, two animals are always twin flames to me. And then when I looked a bit closer, I still don't, at another angle, it could look like it's like an adult giraffe nurturing a child. So the inner child, so whatever, they just pulled me to, what does that say actually? I create new memories filled with peace, goodwill and compassion for others. Well, there you go. That actually goes with this very long video. So what do we need to know? Because I was guided to pick this up, and then I'll wrap this up. Go and get something for my voice because I've been talking for so long. Oh, that just... Jeez, wow. Powerful cards. So I pulled this for myself before, and I was like, oh, celebration joy guides. So instantly, whenever something celebrating worth comes out, I always hear celebrate good times, come on, because who doesn't love that song? But yeah, there's going to be something to celebrate very soon, which is always nice to expect, wherever it is in life. A new life, Divine Mother. Think about all the things that have been spoken about. There's been mother healing in this, as we're about to move into Cancer season, as I'm filming this in real time, well, not too far away. And there's been a lot about a new life. If you want a new life, you can have a new life. And compromise. And that feels about the compromise that basically what, if, you know, again, and some of you might have went into quite a deep state where you don't remember what I said, but basically, if you didn't, what I just said towards the end there was, when twin flames come into a physical union, it should never feel like someone has been like backed in a corner and forced into something. It will always be that both twins have gravitated back towards each other. So that's why anybody that's kind of trying to control anything or that, let go and surrender. Other, if you're still trying to control how everything works like that, it's not going to do it. That's not how it works. So leave it at that. But yeah, there's going to be something to celebrate soon, and new beginnings and compromise where it works for both people, whatever that fits. And I'm just going to read the celebration. I'm not going to read the other ones. So 14. Alignment, harvest, bonding, marriage. Oh, and remember I said that at some point during this, that the marriage is the union of souls. So you're entering a period of great expansion and celebration. Your joy guides are at hand, ushering you into a season of abundance, celebration and hospitality. You're loved, accepted and trusted by those around you. This is a time when life gives back to you. You may become engaged, getting married, receive a promotion, land a deal, or just get a long awaited lucky break. Whatever you desire, your joy guides are urging you to prepare for it, because it's surely coming. And again, you know, the way that I changed that, what I was reading out there a little bit, because it's actually very similar to a lot of stuff I do in personal sessions or group work. I have planted that to be excited about something, and whatever it is you need to heal that energy within you and for your union, just be open to that healing coming in. Whatever you desire, realize that as life tides turn your way, the soon to become realized positive flow of events isn't just a fluke or an accident or just the luck of the draw. Rather, it's the natural outcome of your unwavering efforts and commitment to your dreams and goals. Your joy guides message: plan for the party. You'll soon have a reason to celebrate. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. That felt like a lovely message for that resonates with. So let your joy guides direct you on what will bring you the most joy, because when you are living in your joy, which is very Venus and Mars and Leo right now, which is there for quite some time, that is going to bring a lot of happiness, abundance, joy. Joy is abundance, happiness, isn't it? But it's going to bring a lot of that into your life. And true twin flames, there's so much joy. It is very inner child. So this is another reason astrologically about why this is a really powerful time for working on that inner union. And again, you're not in control of when the outer union happens. Just keep having fun as much as you can, or looking after yourself if you're in a dark night or so. But hopefully this helped you wherever you're at on your journey, and I'll see you later. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your twin flame friends, because this was a really powerful one today, and this is definitely going to help a lot of people. So see you later. Bye.